Twins are back above the 500 mark, hoping to pick up some ground before the break on Chicago and Detroit. And welcome indoors. Twins are home for a week and a half, and we've got a lot of baseball coming your way on FSN. Bert Blatevin and Dick Bramer from the Metrodome. And what a great way to get this homestand started. Johan Santana, in his young major league career, has been the player of the month in July, August, and September. And who knows, he may add the month of June this year.
Well, he's been pitching outstanding, 3-0 over his last 3 starts, and with a 1.29 ERA in the 4 starts in June. And you go back to in the middle of April, Johan 7-1. He has been pitching outstanding. You know, it's kind of like, does baseball have the 2 best lefties in the American League? We saw Liriano pitch an outstanding ball game last night in Houston. Let's see if Johan Santana can repeat that type of performance here tonight against the Cubs.
The challenge at hand for the Twins is to continue their dominance in interleague play on the road to this homestand when they'll play 3 consecutive interleague series in a row. For whatever reason, the Twins have done very well against the National League.
Yeah, against the Cubs, the Dodgers, and the Brewers coming into town. So far, it's been very good road interleague for the Minnesota Twins. 7-2 against the Brewers, the Pirates, and the Astros. They've hit well, they've hit some home runs, and the pitching has pitched outstanding.
Even though they play for different teams now, Torrey Hunter and Jock Jones talk to each other 2-3 times a week. They'll see a lot of each other 2 or 3 times this weekend. They'll be playing against each other. We'll have the opener between the Cubs and the Twins in a moment.
Corey Hunter are best of friends, but they are in different uniforms tonight as the Twins and the Cubs open a 3-game series at the Metrodome. The Cubs in town, well, that means Jock Jones is back at town for the first time in his career as a visitor. He'll be back in that old familiar spot in right field, looking up at the same old familiar white Metrodome ceiling. He played 7 seasons with the Twins, but now we have to get used to seeing Jock in that Cubby blue. Earlier today, Jock told me he is very excited to be back.
was here. We were like brothers. We took care of each other. We fought for each other. We argued with each other. But it was good to see some of the guys today. I haven't really seen Torrey since, I signed, so it'll be good to see him again and talk with him face to face. We talk on the phone once or twice a week. Shannon, guys like that. So it'll be good to see those guys and talk to them face to face.
Jack Jones will face his former teammate Johan Santana for the first time tonight. The Twins and the Cubs in the first pitch coming up next.
On FSN North is presented by your local Northland Ford dealer. By Menards. Save big money at Menards. Twins baseball on FSN North is presented by your local Northland Ford dealer. By Menards. Save big money at Menards. By Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Located just miles south of Hastings, we're closer than you think. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
A good crowd on hand tonight. The Twins expect good crowds throughout the weekend. And the Cubs tend to draw larger crowds wherever they go, but so does winning baseball. And the Twins have put together an impressive string of games. As for the Cubs, well, not so much. Dusty Baker on the hot seat managing the Cubs. It's been a tough go for Baker and the Cubs this year with a lot of injuries and a very poor record. Here's their Menards batting order for tonight's game. Juan Pierre leading off. Nefi Perez hitting second. Aramis Ramirez hitting third. Phil Nevin, newly acquired and hitting cleanup. Then Matt Merton, Jock Jones, Ronnie Cedeno, Todd Walker, and Henry Blanco.
And that lineup right there will be facing in our Treasure Island scouting report Johan Santana, leading the American League in ERA at 2.87 and strikeouts with 109, making his first career start against the Chicago Cubs. 3 relief appearances for Johan. He has pitched 5 innings against the Cubs in interleague play. He's allowed 1 run, a 1.80 ERA.
Check out the Twins in the field. One of the reasons they have played winning baseball, they've tightened things up defensively. Nothing wrong. Rawlers in center field with the Gold Glover Corey Hunter out there on the Northland Ford defense. Kadyr's done a nice job in right. Lou Ford's in left. The left side of the infield has been remade over the last couple of weeks. They both have done well. Castillo and Morneau on the right side, and Joe Mauer behind the plate.
Oh, we showed a picture earlier of Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker in his 4th year is managing the Chicago Cubs after managing the Giants for 10 seasons. It's quite a change coming from San Francisco, kind of a little laid back, where the Cubs, they want to go back to the World Series and win. They haven't done that since 1908.
Coming to the Cubs when, Sammy Sosa was fading, and the Cubs have had a tough time getting anything going and building any momentum. And here's Juan Pierre, one of the disappointments so far this year for the Cubs. Santana delivers up and in, ball one.
Yeah, but this is a guy you have to find to keep off the bases. 24 stolen bases. This guy can fly. A lot of infield hits. They're hitting at only 242.
Back to Santana. I suppose Mike Messina or Kenny Rogers won another one because he's an outstanding fielding pitcher.
Well, not like Lariano to where he will recoil and almost go toward third base. Johan really gets into that good position to field ground balls. There are the numbers on Johan. 109 strikeouts. Pedro Martinez right now leading the major leagues with 110.
One down quickly, and here's Nefi Perez. Slapping one to right. To Dyer. Looks like a catcher in right field getting down into the crouch to make the catch.
Well, those light poles up here toward the Twins dugout, sometimes they can play havoc on a ball hit just like that. That low line drive. You get it caught up in that light post, and then Kadire, you can see him fighting it. Okay, I see the flight of the ball. There it is.
Two down. Here's Ramirez. Big swing and a foul, one strike.
Cubs aren't taking in much time. They're not going to take any pitches against Santana.
Pierre took ball one, then he was retired on the next pitch. Perez retired on the first pitch, and Ramirez wanted to hit that somewhere into St. Paul with that swing. 1-1. And Ramirez's numbers down. And of course, the Cubs missing greatly their big slugger and the best hitter on the team, Derek Lee. Nub back to the mound, and Santana will breeze through the first inning, throwing a total of 6 pitches. One of the best road trips ever for Ron Gardenhire. 5-1 road trip. He's hoping to get back into postseason play. And they'll send out this Menards batting order. Luis Castillo, Nick Punto, Joe Mauer, Michael Kadire. Justin Morneau had a phenomenal road trip. Then Torrey Hunter, Jason Kubel, Lou Ford, and Jason Bartlett.
And the Treasure Island scouting report on making just his third major league start. It'll be Carlos Marmol. There's his third major league start, signed by the Cubs in 1999 as a catcher and an outfielder. Started pitching just 3 years ago.
Up and away, ball one.
Marmol with a good fastball in the low 90s, a slurve type of slider, and a changeup.
Showing bunt and taking ball two. A lot of at-bats and a lot of experience against the Cubs, of course, when Castillo was with the Marlins. 2-1. Pierre was the leadoff hitter for a good part of Castillo's time with the Marlins, and Castillo hit second. Reunited here at the Metrodome, each playing for different teams. 3-1 to Castillo. Would be followed by Punto and Mauer. And a strike to Jerry Davis. 3-2. We've seen Castillo do more and more of this, Bert, it seems, since he's been moved into the leadoff spot, taking 5-6 pitches in that first at bat. Little pop up to short left. And it's the left fielder Merton coming in to make the catch. One down, and here's the Northland Ford defense for the Chicago Cubs. Juan Pierre in center field. He can go get him. Merton and Jones on either side. Ramirez, Cedeno, Perez, Nevin in the infield, and another former Twin, Henry Blanco behind the plate.
I think that's what you want to do, Dick, as a leadoff hitter. Take as many pitches as you can to show your teammates exactly what he has. Shannon Stewart, that's why he's such a good leadoff hitter, because he's able to do that, foul off some pitches. So they got to see 6 pitches that Marmol threw against Castillo.
Particularly important because the Twins have never seen this young man before. 1 strike to Punto, and now a ball. Twins riding high right now with a sweep of the Pirates in Pittsburgh, 2 of 3 against Houston, and an impressive win last night with all the hoopla surrounding the Roger Clemens game. And Punto takes outside 2-1. Francisco Liriano made quite a national TV debut last night. And another 3-ball count. And the Twins doing so far here with Marmol on the mound what they did with Clemens. Take some pitches and get deep in the count.
You know, Dick, about Liriano last night, what really impressed me was his composure on the mound. He just seemed very relaxed. He said, hey, I didn't want to put any added pressure. I just wanted to go out and do my job. Well, he did a great job of that.
If you didn't know better, you would have thought last night that there were 2 21-year Major League veterans on the mound facing each other. That's just how unfazed he was by everything. Another full count. Marmol to Punto, and a drive to center field, hit pretty well. Pierre going back, makes the catch on the edge of the track. We mentioned he can go get him, and he had to go that one.
Well, this guy's got a lot of speed, Juan Pierre, and that's exactly what he needed right here to catch up to Nick Punto's long fly ball to center field. Almost right through the warning track. One of the longest balls that Nick Punto's going to hit 400 feet away, but Pierre catches up to it. Nice running catch.
So 2 down, and here's Joe Mauer. Torrey says, yeah, nice catch. I'd have had it, but it was a nice catch. Bauer continues to get at least a hit a game, leading the majors with his .375 batting average. Ichiro starts play tonight .361, and there's a strike on the outside corner. Mauer had a good road trip, but his batting average went down.
Yeah, when you hit .333, it goes down, I guess.
Chopped to the left side, and Ramirez fires. And each pitcher has a 1-2-3 first inning. We head to the second. No score. of opportunities to watch their favorite team here during this homestand. 3 with the Cubs, 3 with the Dodgers, a day off, then 3 with the Brewers. Playing very good baseball, and hey, when you're running the likes of Liriano and Santana out back-to-back games, you got to like your chances of winning a ball game.
Well, Johan, a 1-2-3 first inning, very good in interleague play, 12-3 with a 2.6 ERA in his starts in interleague play.
Phil Nevin, newly acquired, hitting in the cleanup spot for the Cubs. Cubs just needed to get some credibility in the middle of their lineup when Derek Lee went out with the broken wrist.
Phil Nevin traded over from the Texas Rangers on May 31st for Jerry Hairston plus some money.
There's some thunder. And a 1-0 Cub lead.
Nevin hitting his 6th home run. You can hear the Cub fans here at the Metrodome. A lot of same Cub fans maybe can't get seats at Wrigley Field. And I think once you're a Cub fan, you're always a Cub fan for some reason. A fastball stayed about belt high, and Phil Nevin hitting his 5th home run as a Cub. He had 9 home runs with the Texas Rangers, so his 15th overall on the year.
Here's Merton, and he lifts one foul and out of play. So what that means, based on what we've seen in June, is that'll be it for Santana. He's given up 1 run in each of his 4 prior starts in June. A couple of times he's given up home runs for the only run. Never in the month of June has he given up more than 1 run, earned or unearned, this year. 1-1 to Matt Merton. 2 hopper to short, and an easy play for Bartlett. 1 away. In the month of June, Santana, as we showed you before, 3-0. And here's Jock Jones.
Batting 6, right fielder number 11, Jock Jones.
Nice applause for Jock Jones.
And well deserved.
Yeah. With the Twins for 7 seasons from 99 to last year, a .279 career hitter as a Twin.
1 strike. Got off to a terrible start with the Cubs, but has put up very good numbers, especially given what has happened around him. You put his numbers against the other numbers in the Chicago lineup. There's a fly to left. And Ford back and across, 2 away. You put Jones' numbers up against what the other Cub hitters have put up, and you wonder where the Cubs would be without him.
Now welcome back, Jock Jones. A deep fly ball, but Lou Ford caught it for the 2nd out.
2 down, and here's Ronnie Cedeno. And Santana starts him up and in.
Johan coming off an outing against the Pirates where the Twins and Johan beat the Pirates 8-2 last Sunday. Johan 7 innings in that ball game through 95 pitches.
And a strike, 1-1.
5 strikeouts for Johan in that last outing.
One and 2. Santana leading the American League with 109 strikeouts. The major league leaders, Pedro Martinez with 110.
Opponents hitting just .227 off of Johan.
And there's strikeout number 110. A leadoff home run for Nevin, and the Cubs take the first lead. Santana in the top of the second. Now the Twins will try to get the run back with Michael Kadire leading off the second inning. He'll be fouled Justin Morneau and Torrey Hunter. Up and in, and Kadire sprawls out of the way.
Well, that wasn't a fastball. That was a breaking ball. He just tried to overthrow right there. Kadire maybe looking out over the plate, and he gets out of the way. And of course, the next pitch is low and away on the black.
1-1. And now 2-1. Marmol falling behind the hitters here in the early innings.
Marmol coming off an outing that the Detroit Tigers, he lost to the Detroit Tigers 9-3. He walked a couple batters in 6 innings, gave up 4 earned runs. Marmol again making just his 3rd major league start, his 5th major league appearance. Just 23 years old, from the Dominican Republic.
Breaking ball misses, another 3-ball count. His 3rd so far in the ball game. You saw that Kadire's never faced the Cubs. The Twins faced the Cubs for 5 straight years in interleague play, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. And Kadire draws a leadoff walk. And haven't faced him now for 5 years. Twins get their first base runner, Morneau, to the plate. And during each broadcast, of course, we'll take a question for the booth from Car Soup. And you can submit your question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Bob Wiseman from Shakopee wondering when Matt Guerrero's scheduled to return.
Well, I talked to Matt in the training room. He was riding a stationary bike, and now that cast is still on that right hand. That happened on June 8th, and they anticipated about 6 to 8 weeks, probably around 6 weeks, where he could take that off. But now you have to build the arm back up. So look for maybe 2 months, maybe a month. I'd say maybe about the first part, toward the latter part of July, when Matt Guerrero might be able to come back and join the pitching staff.
And as some other relievers were struggling, Guerrero was really pitching well. That's what makes the timing of the injury so bad. 1-0 to Morneau. Has been red hot over the last few weeks. And he takes up and away 2-0. And Blanco will go to the mound to try to suggest to Carlos Marmol that he's going to do a lot better tonight if he starts throwing strikes early in the count.
Well, Justin coming off a great road trip where he had 8 hits in 24 at bats, 3 home runs and 7 RBIs.
Chrysler key stat tells you one of the reasons why the Cubs have struggled, and pretty evident that they really missed Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor. And even Greg Maddux, who got off to a great start, has struggled as of late. 3-0 to Morneau. Pryor scheduled to start tomorrow. Had a disastrous first start, giving up 4 home runs. And a pretty good bet here that Morneau will get the green light, the way he's been swinging the bat. And he takes a strike. Morneau's average up to 275, and the 18 home runs and 58 runs batted in each lead the club. And another full count, 3-2.
Well, Justin in some pretty good company with the 58 RBIs. David Ortiz with the Boston Red Sox leads with 64. Jim Thome 60, and Paul Konerko 59 RBIs on the year.
3-2. We'll see if the Twins do anything with Kadire here. He goes, and Morneau sends it high and deep to center. Pierre going back. Gone! Another home run for Morneau. Number 19. RBIs 59 and 60.
You know what, Dick? I think you can see here and at home the strength of Justin Morneau. This ball looked like it hit off the outer part of the bat, but Justin, with that uppercut swing, you saw how strong he is. I thought it was a fly ball to center field, but it leaves the ballpark for a 2-run home run.
417 feet to center field, and Torrey Hunter takes strike 1 from Carlos Marmol. So the Cub lead doesn't survive the bottom half of the second inning. 1-1. Two and one.
That is a 9th home run for Morneau in the month of June.
This one popped up to the right side. Mayfi Perez calling for it. And Jacques Jones has seen a lot of those pop-ups lost here. He was right behind him in case Perez needed any help. One down. And here's Jason Kubel. And Morneau getting some all-star balloting action. One thing that will probably help the chances of Joe Mauer, Johan Santana, maybe Morneau, maybe another twin or two to make the all-star team is if the team can stay above the 500 mark. It's a lot easier for a team to lay claim to 2 or 3 spots. Here's a drive to the right field corner. That's down for a hit. Jones will pick it up. Kubel will go to second with a double.
Oh, that definitely helps when that manager, and that's going to be Ozzie Guillen, looks at, the Minnesota Twins and says, you know what? I mean, they're coming on strong. They're playing very good baseball, and who's helping them? Well, it might be Justin Morneau, and certainly Joe Mauer. And you look at the pitching staff, and you see the hit right there. Jason Kubel, his 3rd double of the year, and the Twins get the 2nd hit of the inning.
Here's Lou Ford. Ford getting the start in left field with the Twins reacquainting themselves with a designated hitter. Ford pulled the bat back and took ball 1. The Twins without the DH in Pittsburgh and Houston, and that too is, I think, one of the reasons this 5-1 road trip was so impressive. Ordinarily, when the Twins have had to play without their designated hitter, runs have been very hard to come by, and instead the Twins won 5 of 6, and now they get to rotate the designated hitter. 1-1. Liriano says, yeah, I kind of liked it the other way. I liked a chance to hit. High and tight, 2-1. So as the Twins rotate the designated hitter, they likely will rotate the left field spot as well, with Ford getting some starts out there. Kubel, Shannon Stewart when he comes back. Ripped down the line. Oh, what a catch by Ramirez! Aramis Ramirez robbing Joe Ford of an extra base hit.
Lou Ford couldn't hit this ball any harder. Ramirez diving to his right and comes up with a great catch right here. That definitely robbed Lou Ford of extra base hits. Good reaction, leaping up and grabbing the 2nd out.
And now here's Jason Bartlett. Bartlett's hit in every game since his call-up.
Yeah, career high 8-game hitting streak for Jason Bartlett. 12 hits and 29 at-bats, a .414 batting average. Bartlett with a couple doubles.
And now 0-2. Kubel at second. Twins trying to get him in, having taken a 2-1 lead here in the second. Breaking ball covers the inside corner. Marmol gives up a leadoff walk and a home run. Morneau puts the Twins in front with his 19th home run of the year.
Minnesota Twins baseball on FSN North is presented by Jeep. Go everywhere, do everything in a Jeep. Check one out today or go to Jeep.com. And by Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. What's your Grand Casino story?
The Twins lead 2-1 at the Metrodome, but have finally found a stride away from this building, going 5-1 at Pittsburgh and at Houston. Corey Hunter called that the greatest road trip he has ever been a part of. Ron Gardenhire said the trip was great, but it won't mean much if we can't come home and follow it up. Gardy said, yes, there is a lot of baseball left to play in this season, but we also have a lot of ground to make up. And Gardy stressed we cannot afford to relax right now.
Not when you're 11 games out, no. Todd Walker at the plate. Check swing for strike one, a full swing for strike two. And now it's 2-2.
Yeah, three guys in this lineup for Dusty Baker have been former Twins. Todd Walker, of course, originally signed by the Twins, a #1 pick out of LSU back in 1994. He played with the Twins in 96 to 2000. Henry Blanco, you saw him on deck, and of course Jock Jones.
Fouled back by Walker. The Cubs are in the middle of an awkward time for them, as catcher Michael Barrett is serving his 10-game suspension, and that's impacted Walker to the point where he is the designated hitter rather than the second baseman or the first baseman. Just off the corner, 3-2.
Well, Walker's always been a very good hitter at the major league level, a career .290 hitter. The Cubs are his 5th different organization to play for at the major leagues. The Twins traded Todd Walker back in 2000 for first baseman Todd Sears of the Colorado Rockies.
And Walker draws a leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. And that'll bring up Henry Blanco. Blanco, the regular backup catcher, will be asked to catch every game during Barrett's suspension. And the Cubs are going to try to survive his suspension without calling up another catcher. So their backup catcher is Phil Nevin. And they don't dare put him in as the designated hitter, because then if something happens to Blanco and they have to use the backup catcher behind the plate, then they would lose the designated hitter the rest of the way. So that's why Nevin is at first and Walker's the designated hitter.
Well, those are the numbers for Henry Blanco when he was with the Twins in 2004. He has been on fire as far as taking the place of Mike Barrett. Joe Mauer has no idea where this ball went.
It's back in the seats, 0-2.
Henry Blanco currently on a career high 9-game hitting streak, 16 hits in his last 32 at-bats. So I don't know if Mike Barrett could do any better right now.
Look at the numbers. Hitting less than 100 in April and May, and he's been their best hitter in June.
He's getting a chance to play every day. That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted in his career. Give me a chance to play.
He had that chance here. Remember, he was supposed to back up Joe Mauer. Blanco strikes out for the first out of the inning.
And Johan picks up his second strikeout. Looked like a changeup right here, and Blanco knowing, and he's caught Johan Santana, what this changeup can do. And Henry chasing a pitch that just lands on the other side of home plate. Good block by Joe Mauer.
So one down, and here's Juan Pierre in a one-hopper back to Santana, his first time up. Bunted at it, and a strike. Pierre says, I pulled the bat back. But Jerry Davis saw it otherwise. Punto has to respect Pierre's speed
and his bunting ability. Very good bunter.
1-1. Nothing's gone right for the Cubs this year, and they acquired Pierre, expected him to just do what he'd done with the Marlins before, and instead here late in June now he's got an on-base percentage of .290.
Now, he's a career .305 hitter into this season. So you can see the .242 batting average, very low.
2-1.
I was talking to Jock Jones about that a little bit. before the ball game about getting traded over and then trying to get accustomed to a new organization, new teammates, and he said it was tough at the beginning. He said, but you know what, he had a lot of people told him, just relax, just do your thing, don't try to do too much, and now it's paying off for Jock.
2-1 to Pierre. Runner goes, and the pitch popped up, fouling out of play. Well, the whole notion of trying to do too much at the start of the year isn't exclusive to players who are with new teams. I think it's safe to say that a lot of the Twins hitters tried to do too much early in the season. And in Jones' case, of course, he wasn't traded to the Cubs, but signed with them as a free agent. Castillo got off to a good start with the Twins, and that's been one of the problems for the Twins and Rondell White, to try to get him to just relax and do what he did the last couple of years with Detroit. Check swing and a foul.
Well, the one thing about Pierre, he will play every day. He's played in every game this year, and the last game he missed, you have to go back to 2002 when he was a member of the Colorado Rockies. Spent 4 seasons in the Florida Marlins system from 2003 to last year. Did not miss a game.
2-2 to Pierre. Santana gave up a leadoff home run in the second, a leadoff walk here in the third. High chopper, and Santana with a nice play to get Pierre. A pirouette going down the back slope of the mound for out number 2.
Yeah, very tough play here, because you know the runner Pierre can get down that line, but Johan, he spun around, made the turn, and with the ball with his back toward home plate, he makes a nice play right here and flicks it over to Morneau for the second out. On the play, Todd Walker moves to second.
And now Neifi Perez. Perez with a fly to Cuddyer, his first time up. Cuddyer had a tough time finding the ball in the lights. Half swing and ball 1.
Neifi Perez, 33 years old, from the Dominican Republic, in his 3rd season with the Cubs. Came up with the Rockies. He spent time in Kansas City, San Francisco with the Giants.
One and one. Santana has seen his ERA go down each of his last 5 starts. Bert mentioned before, he's the American League ERA leader.
Right now at 2.87. I looked at that and I said, you know what, that's how many days are left till my birthday. 287 days. Pretty nice, huh? Well, because the ERA goes down as my birthday gets closer.
That's a pretty sly way of sneaking in the birthday club.
That's what I thought.
Two and 1 to Perez.
Johan with 1 walk in the ball game so far, a couple strikeouts.
Castillo keeping Walker, or close, or trying to anyway. Swing and a foul. 2-2. Not only in each of the last 5 starts, but from month to month, his monthly ERA is improving.
Yeah, remember he started the season 0-3 in his first 4 starts. After that, he has been on fire. 7-1 since that 0-3 start for Santana.
But a growing phenomenon at home. Santana seems to have a knack for striking out the 3rd out of an inning. And Perez just got a piece of it. Santana struck out Cedeno to end the second inning, and he almost got Perez here in the third. It looks to be a crowd of about 40,000 here tonight. Most of them, I'm guessing, watched Liriano outduel Clemens last night. Now they get a chance to watch Santana in person. Justin Morneau with a 2-run home run, highlighting our Rico game reset.
Well, Phil Nevin hitting a solo home run off of Santana, his 15th of the year, his 6th as a Chicago Cub, and Johan 3 strikeouts in 3 innings pitched.
Marmol with 39 pitches thrown through 2 innings. Castillo will lead off the third for the Twins, and he takes ball 1. Castillo's average dropping down to 276. Most of the hits he's gotten lately have been infield hits. And a foul back, a strike. I'd like to see Castillo slashing the ball into the outfield a little bit more if they could. 1 and 2.
Well, he's one of those hitters that's a switch hitter. He tries to just put the ball in play, hit line drives. Don't try to pop it up anywhere.
.69 hits, just 13 extra base hits, so he's not a hitter that's going to have a very high slugging percentage, but
well, he doesn't strike out much. He'll take some walks, and he makes contact.
To the pitcher. 1 down. Coming up on Sunday, another big day at the Dome, and for more, here's our good friend Frank Quillisi.
The Twins Hall of Fame will have a new member on June 25th. Come out as we remember the great career of 1965 MVP Zoilo Versalles. Call 800-33-TWINS for tickets.
You and I will be a part of that ceremony on Sunday. That'll be a fun pregame ceremony. Here's Nick Punto. Zoilo, the first of 3 Twins AL MVPs. Armin Killebrew in 1969, Rod Carew in 1977. They'll both be here on Sunday. Punto drives it to right, a base hit. Jones will backhand it. Punto will be content with a single. So Punto hit it 400 feet from home plate his first time up for an out. Lines a base hit to right here in the third.
Yeah, this is a more Nick Punto right here. Nick Punto not with a home run yet this year. Doesn't have home run type power, more of a line drive, almost like Castillo type hitter. Get a base hit, get on base, maybe steal a base.
And now here's Joe Mauer. Got a ground ball to Ramirez his first time up. Punto goes in the first pitch. Blanco's throw right on the bag, safe. With the shortstop Cedeno unable to hang on to the ball. Had he hung on to it, they may have thrown him out.
Well, Henry Blanco's always been known as a very good defensive catcher with a great arm. Over his career, he's thrown out almost 42% of base runners. A good, quick release. And the ball getting out of the glove of Cedeno right there, but it looked like Punto got that hand on the bag. So Nick Punto gets his 5th stolen base of the year in 6 attempts.
1-0 to Mauer, now 2-0.
Twins steal their 44th base of the year. They've been caught only 16 times, and you see the numbers of Henry Blanco this year. He did that as a Twin too. Outstanding arm.
2-0 to Mauer. 3-0, Kadire on deck, and the Twin stolen bases triggered the Papa John's steal of a deal. Call 833 Twins in the next 30 minutes and give them the code FS. And you get a great discount on tickets for the Milwaukee Brewers game on Friday, June 30th, and a 2-for-1 deal on Papa John's Pizza. Now, there's got to be an FS, a notorious FS who played for the Cubs. So far, we've gotten, what, Fred Stanley and Franklin Stubbs. Those have been the most famous FS's.
Jump in that book.
We're going to find somebody. Mauer draws a 4-pitch walk. First and second, one away.
How about Fred Santo? Not Ron Santo. We'll call him Fred.
Currently a broadcaster with the Cubs.
Second walk of the ball game by Marmol. He's thrown 50 pitches right now. 28 have been strikes. So you see a young man out on that mound that has a very good fastball, just a little erratic with that fastball.
Kadire drew the walk in front of the Morneau home run. And now he takes ball one.
You can see Henry Blanco wanted that fastball away, and it was left over the plate, inner half of the plate. Always talk from night to night about control of the fastball. That's how you be consistent at the major league level or any level.
In fact, that was one of the things that impressed Roger Clemens about Liriano last night. His control of both sides of the plate. There's Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach for the Cubs. And Liriano has shown that when he can control that fastball and his other pitches as well, but when you've got both corners of the plate, you can pitch an effective game like Liriano
did. I talked to Rick Anderson after the game, and he said the only thing that he thought, that the only mistake he made was that Jason Lane's 2-run home run, that Lane had adjusted to all the pitches that were inside in that third at bat, and he opened up and hit the 2-run home run. He said that's where a pitcher like Liriano will eventually find out, throw that changeup away. They only thought that one inning he maybe got away from what he was trying to do.
2-1 to Kadire. He's trying to pad a 2-1 lead. Foul back. Kadire's numbers are very close to Torrey Hunter's numbers on the season. Hunter with 10 home runs, Kadire with 11. Hunter with 39 runs batted in, Kadire with 38.
I think if you've seen a young man in Kadire that has really accepted hitting in this cleanup spot, and he knows that if he stays healthy, he's going to be able to drive in some runs.
That's a fair ball down the line.
Just like that.
Punto around third. He's going to score. Mauer's going to be waved around. Here's the relay from Cedeno. Safe. Kadire to third, and the Twins win it 4-1. RBIs 39 and 40 for Michael Kadire.
Well, it looked like a breaking ball that Marmol left up. Kadire reached out and poked it over the head of Ramirez, the third baseman. Kadire credited with a double, a couple RBIs. Good piece of hitting right there. And Joe Mauer hustling from first base. He got the green light from Scotty Alger to come on home. And to throw one hops Henry Blanco into the sliding Joe Mauer. And the Twins take a 4-1 lead.
Morneau, the base hit to left, and that'll plate Kadire. And it's 5-1. And Morneau now with 61 runs batted in.
Well, Justin with his third run driven in of the ball game scores Kadire from third base. And the Twins, just like that, put 3 on the board. Fastball away, and this is what we've seen Justin doing so much over the last month, of taking that pitch the other way. Don't try to pull it, just go with it. And he's credited with an RBI single.
Here's Hunter. Strike on the outside corner. Corey with a pop-up to Perez in short right field. One and one. Angel Guzman warming up. And Hunter up there with a 1-1 count. 1-2.
Well, big problem for the Cubs has been their starting pitching. You mentioned Pryor back now, but Kerry Wood's out. Combined ERA at 4.83. That's 14th in the National League. Of course, the National League with 2 more teams than the American League. At 16 teams.
2-2.
Only the Philadelphia Phillies have had a worse starting rotation than the Cubs. Cubs starting rotation 5.26 combined.
Just off the plate, and it's a full count. 1 out. Morneau at first. We'll keep an eye on him for you. And Jason Kubel on deck. Morneau goes. Popped up to left field. Merton makes the catch. That's out number 2. Tune in to FSN North for Freedom Week starting on Monday. The FSN Live Twins pre- and post games will originate from various National Guard sites throughout the state. Freedom Week will culminate with Operation Home Base, a commercial-free telecast on July 1st, honoring U.S. military in Iraq. An FSN North crew is embedded with the Minnesota National Gun for the tribute, July 1st at 6:30 on FSN North. It was nice to see Ron Johnson in our pregame show from Iraq. About the recreational activities of our soldiers in Iraq.
It's an outstanding piece.
Here's Kubel. Hit high and deep to left center field. Pierre giving way to the left fielder Merton, and he makes the catch. But in the inning, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 more runs for the Twins. They've got a 5-1 lead.
by circles.
You got a circle machine here. You better use it.
Yeah.
And here's our Aflac trivia question.
I'll use it all right.
Sitting right in front of another Twins Hall of Famer, Frankie Viola. Frankie won't be here on Sunday. Most of the Twins Hall of Famers will be here. And our Aflac trivia question from the Aflac Duck. Who are the 3 Cubs third basemen to knock in 100 runs in a season?
I think we mentioned one of them earlier.
And I think another one has already made a great catch here tonight and is at the plate right now. Strike 1.
I think 2 out of 3 is pretty good.
Especially after the road trip. We just barely kept our streak alive on the road trip. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
And I do have a Cub media guide here.
Good. Let's not use it tonight. I think we're okay tonight.
Oh, you know who the third one is?
No, but like you say, 2 out of 3 is pretty good.
That's true.
And Santana picks up a strikeout, his 4th.
Another good changeup by Johan. He has such good arm action on that changeup. Looks like a fastball to these hitters, and they just swing right through it. Look at that whip of that arm come through. And that fastball comes in the mid-80s, where his fastball, that's the changeup, and his fastball at 93, 94.
Here's Nevin, who takes the strike. You know, one thing that I think Santana has in common with you. 1 strike to Nevin. Here's a drive to center, and Nevin tees off again, but Hunter makes the catch. 400 feet from home plate. He nearly hit back-to-back home runs against Santana.
That looked like a changeup right there. He hit the fastball the first time up, and it looked like he waited on this changeup. He stayed back and hit it deep to center field, 408 feet away, but Torrey's there to make the second out catch.
Here's Merton. I'll try to complete the thought if Merton will allow me here. A lot of strikeout pitchers, and I'll include Clemens in that group, they get strikeouts on pitches that aren't strikes. But Santana, and I want to remember about you too, you would force the hitter to swing because so many of the curveballs and the fastballs were strikes. Clemens has, gotten an awful lot of strikeouts with the splitter or the high fastball. But this guy throws the changeup over. You got to swing at it.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, that's the confidence that he has, not only in that changeup, in the fastball as far as control. I mean, he overpowers that fastball up in the zone, but hitters like that ball up there. But Santana with that little extra zip, it's hard to catch up to that. When the back of your mind, this guy's got a good changeup, so I have to stay back.
All right, 2 outs, 2 strikes. See if he can do it again. 2-2. He struck out Cedeno to end the second, struck out Perez to end the third, and now he's got a 4-run lead. Pulled hard to foul. Santana hasn't had multiple run leads too often this year. 2-2. Merton spanks a single up the middle with 2 out. Jock Jones will come to the plate. 0 for 1 so far, and before they took the field, as you might expect, for years in the same dugout together with a little kidding from one dugout to the other.
Yeah, Torrey pointing at somebody. Boy, he's got a big head right there. And Jock teasing went back at Torrey, but once they were ready to take to position, Torrey ready to go. Yes, it's business time.
Very
good
nice.
friends.
And Jock takes up and away ball 1. Of all the players who've left here, and there have been many, Minkiewicz, Koskie, Hawkins, Guardado, so on and so forth, this is the one that probably sentimentally is the hardest to take. Jock Jones and Torrey Hunter were friends going back throughout their minor league days, and it's tough.
I think it's tough, Dick, because these two guys right here really represent what the game should be all about. They always smiling. They'll give you 100%. Yes, they'll get upset, but somewhere in the ball game you're going to see a big smile out of Torrey Hunter. Somewhere in the ball game you're going to see that smile of Jock Jones.
But how many times through their minor league careers as fellow outfielders did they support one another, help them, encourage one another to get to the major leagues? And now 3-1. The business of baseball has its impact on friendships. Not on friendships, but on teammates.
Right, yeah. Teammates. They'll always be friends.
3-1 to Jones. And now 3-2. Jock getting a chance to play more against lefties with the Cubs than he did typically with the Twins.
There's a good example of Santana right there. 3-1, fastball situation. Jock saying, okay, give me a fastball to hit. Santana pulls the string to get the count to 3-2.
Mauer reminding Santana that Morneau's playing behind the runner at first with 2 out in the full count.
And here comes a 3-2 slider.
To the shortstop. Bartlett with the catch, a scoreless fourth. To the bottom of the inning, and the Twins still lead by 4 runs.
Well, there's a wedding group right here. You're hereby circled.
That's a nice wedding gift. I never thought about that. So many weddings in the summertime. You're wondering what to give somebody. Give them Twins tickets.
Great idea.
Lou Ford leading off. The Twins fourth. Robbed of a hit his last time up by Ramirez, who made a diving catch. Ford hit a rocket toward the corner, but it never got there. Up high, 2-1.
Well, Carlos Marmol needed only 14 pitches to have a 1-2-3 first inning, but it's been a battle in the second and third. He needed 50 pitches in the second and the third combined.
And throughout, we've seen a lot of this, a lot of 3-ball counts.
Well, you see a young man right here, 23 years old. He's got called up in the first part of June from Double-A, where he was pitching very well, 3-2 with a 2.7 ERA. But you can kind of see, you know, he's just starting to learn how to pitch. He's got a great arm, got some movement, good hard breaking ball. But again, very erratic with that fastball.
This is the 7th 3-ball count and the 6th full count for Marmol. So hence the high pitch count. Ford strikes out on the fastball, 1 down.
Marmol picks up his second strikeout.
Get up to the minute news and your regular season tickets today at twinsbaseball.com. Sign up for MLB.tv and the other wireless offers. And don't forget to check the eSaver for a great discount on an upcoming Brewers game. TwinsBaseball.com, where Twins baseball is always on. Now, we should just clarify that. It's an upcoming Twins Brewers game. You know, I mean, it's an upcoming Brewers game. That means a game here, not one at Miller Park.
No, we already went there.
Yeah, we went there. And did well there, winning 2 out of 3. Bartlett takes ball 1, 1-1.
One thing I have seen from Marmol is that good tight rotation on that breaking ball. But again, the fastball kind of all over the place.
1-2.
I give up on that trivia question. I've been through this media guide. I can't find out who that third guy is.
Santo and Ramirez, and then somebody before Santo. Because the Cubs seemed like annually went through a different third baseman every year between the time Santo retired and they finally got Ramirez at third.
Well, the Cubs, I mean, they have opening day lineups going back to 1876. My goodness. You know, back in 1876, on opening day, the Cubs beat Louisville 4-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Louisville team was what, the Sluggers, I suppose? Bartlett draws a walk. All right, well, we're going to give you the answer, the complete answer. We're pretty sure of Santo and Ramirez for Cub third baseman with 100 runs knocked in plus in a season. Andy Pafko. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
And it was before Ron Santo.
Oh, 2 out of 3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You do that in baseball,
forget it.
You're in the Hall of Fame. On the right, Ron Santo, the gentleman on the left. Pat Hughes, for 1 year, was my partner in Twins telecast way back in 1983. And Santo, 9-time.
He hasn't been the same since, has he?
Notice I said 1 year. Pat and I had a chance to reminisce about our first year broadcasting Major League Baseball together. Bartlett goes, and I don't know if it was a pitch out or not. If it was, Blanco had to reach for it. And Bartlett will get a stolen base. Second base that the Twins have stolen here.
Well, they're not stealing it on Henry Blanco. They're stealing it on the pitcher. And Jason Bartlett steals his first base in 3 attempts. Got a pretty good jump right there. And Henry Blanco just couldn't get the ball out of his glove properly.
If it was a pitch out, Blanco stayed down in the crouch a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it was a pitch out. I just think we see that the pitcher has been all over the place.
1-0 to Castillo. Ground ball to second. Perez to Nevin, 2 away, and Bartlett moves up a base. Got to be room in the Hall of Fame for Ron Santo.
Yep.
It used to be the case, I think it still is, that for some reason third base is the least populated position in Cooperstown, and this guy was as good as it got in the National League for about 15 years. And he was every bit the defensive player in his league that Brooks Robinson was in the American League. And a better, more powerful offensive player. 9-time All-Star, and he was telling me how he got the game-winning hit here at Metropolitan Stadium in the 1965 All-Star game. One of his 9 All-Star appearances. 2-0 to Punto. Will Oman warming up in the Chicago bullpen. Skied to the left side of the infield. If Cedeno sees it, he'll catch it. He's got it. And the Twins lead Bartlett at third to the 5th. It's a 5-1 Twins lead. Twins hoping to put together another good homestand. They played very well at home, and so far tonight they've played well. Along with Barney Gellner and Bert Blynovan, I'm Dick Bramer. Winona State's here. Promising love for you.
She loves me. She loves me.
Just for being circled. What a wonderful machine that is. There's not enough love in the world.
There needs to be more.
There need to be more circle machines.
Look at that. They're even sharing a drink.
Right.
Wow. I missed it in Houston. Missed my circle machine.
On the right field line, a foul. 2 strikes.
And again, I thank the truck for coming up with it. It took them a whole day to find that circle.
As a result of that, I understand they were reporting to the truck at like 7 in the morning just to accommodate you.
Good.
Strikeout for the opening out of the 5th.
Strikeout number 5 for Johan. Another changeup down in the zone. Johan, we've seen that changeup. Well, sometimes he'll turn that changeup over. That'll go away to right-handed hitters. And then also one that he has to lefties that'll tail away.
Here's Todd Walker. Drew a leadoff walk in the 3rd. Bouncer to 3rd. Punto for out number 2. And that'll bring up Blanco. Blanco with the Twins was supposed to be the backup catcher, but then Joe Mauer had the knee problems and couldn't play at all in the second half of the Twins playoff run back in 2002 or 2004.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon.
Yeah, Henry got into 114 ball games that year, hit only 206. He's a career 219 major league hitter.
Mauer off and on through the first half of the year hit 308, just 107 at bats, and the Twins were frantically trying to get Mauer ready for what they hoped would be a run in the World Series. Had the Twins advanced past the Yankees that year, Blanco with a fly to right, there was a chance Mauer might have been ready for the second series. Had they made it to the World Series, Joe says he would have been ready to be the catcher in the World Series had the Twins gone that far. Twins baseball on FSN North is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. 5-1, the Twins with the lead.
See, they said, please, you are hereby circled.
Good luck with your new kidney, Matt.
Oh, yes, Matt.
Well, we want to pass along our best wishes, too.
Sure do.
Joe Mauer will lead off the 5th inning for the Twins. Mauer walked and scored his last time up. First time up, Mauer hit a bouncer to third. Up and away, ball one. You get the sense that Mauer's in a bit of a slump, but every day you look in the box score and he's got at least a hit. That's how good he's been.
I think for a while there, you know, he had such a long hitting streak, and that average, it seemed like he was getting 2 or 3 hits a night.
Fly to left center field. Merton's there for the catch. One away, and time now for a Dodge game break. And let's go to Marnie Gellner.
All right, Dick and Bert, Detroit opens the series with St. Louis tonight. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Maglio Ordonez gets the single to score 2 runners. The Tigers get 4 runs in the inning and now lead this game 7-5.
And if anybody in St. Louis was wondering about the American League Central and the teams on top that I are fouling it back, I would imagine Tony La Russa and the Cardinals are convinced now. The Cardinals got embarrassed in the first 2 games against the White Sox and shut out in the 3rd game, and now Detroit's got a lead on them.
Yeah, St. Louis still has that 4-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds, but boy, they have been struggling. Their pitching staff has really struggled.
They hope to get Albert Pujols back in a week or so. The Cubs had Derek Lee take batting practice today, so they're hoping that he'll get back before too long.
Yeah, he's going to go down and get some rehab and play some games down at the minor league level. He left today.
Shannon Stewart's going to take off tomorrow, and the Twins are planning on him getting about 6 games of rehab in before he hopefully will come back and join the club. On the outside corner, Kadire gone.
Marmol picks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game with his 3 walks.
2 down, and here's Justin Morneau with an RBI single in the 3rd, and in the 2nd, our Coors Light Cold Blast.
Well, home run number 19 of the year for Justin, taking this ball straight away center. A 2-run home run for Morneau in the 2nd inning.
Breaking ball and strike 1. And now 1-1. Suddenly, Morneau's numbers are looking Ortiz-like. And who would have thought that as recently as a couple weeks ago? Popped up behind second base. Marmol might have his best inning since the 1st. It's a 1-2-3 5th inning. On to the 6th with the Twins up 5-1.
And Jim, nice sign here. Johnny, tell us about this sign.
We're on TV. Say hi, Mom.
Hi. Jim, why did you make this sign?
We're just really big Twins fans, and we wanted to support Bert. He doesn't have too many more years voting left, so with his record and strikeouts and 1-0 games that he ended up losing, we think that he deserves to be in there.
Well, because of your sign, Bert's going to circle you tonight. I'm sure he'll be happy to circle you, and you get $100 worth of lottery tickets.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Hold it up, Johnny.
From Duluth. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Well, we all watch you in Cooperstown. No, and we're not talking about Cooperstown, North Dakota either. Did you know there was a Cooperstown, North Dakota?
No, I did not.
It very much in the heart of Twins territory.
Albert Pujols did play yesterday for the Cubs. He went 0 for 4. Excuse me, the Cardinals 0 for 4. So he is back.
Juan Pierre with a 1-1 count. Twice he's bounced back to Santana. Second time, Santana made a really nice play to get him at first base. Check swing, 2-1. Santana with 5 strikeouts, his major league leading total right now 114. Punch to left, Ford there for the catch, 1 away.
Hey, fans, stop into any 12 Twin Cities metro area select comfort locations and get a free Twins ticket when you find your sleep number while supplies last. By the way, my sleep number is 287, and I'll be at the Ridgedale Select Comfort tomorrow signing from 12 to 1. Select Comfort has your ticket to a more deep and restful sleep.
I don't think you can get a deep and restful sleep with a sleep number of 287.
That's how many days until my birthday.
I think it only goes up to like 100, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It starts at 100.
Here's Nefi Perez, 0 for 2. He's got a 1-0 count.
I believe Dan Gladden is going to be there signing with me tomorrow. Now, I said I was going to do this laying down. If Dan Gladden's going to do a laying down, we are going to get separate beds. That's for darn sure.
Oh, come on. You two are teammates.
Yeah, we were close. Not that close.
2-0 to Perez. So, the autograph thing is tomorrow.
Finally, yes, tomorrow. It has come.
And you're going to sign all your autographs lying down?
I guess so, yes. Okay. I'll have to find out what my real number is. I thought it was 35, then it changed to 28. Yesterday it was 82. Now it's what? 287?
And again, if I were you, I wouldn't tell people. I think that's, could be like part of identity theft.
So if you went and got your Select Comfort number, you wouldn't let anybody know?
No. I put that, I take the card or whatever they give you, and I put it in the safe at home with my Social Security card. To center, and Hunter trots back to make the catch, 2 away. There's certain things I just don't want people to know about me, and my sleep number would be one of them.
Well, you're a very private person.
I am. Here's Ramirez.
Third baseman Aramis Ramirez.
Ramirez 0 for 2. Ramirez with a bouncer back to Santana and then a strikeout. Soft liner, and Castillo with a nice running catch.
Nice catch.
3 up, 3 down for Santana. With Castillo finishing it off with a nice catch for the 3rd out. casino game reset.
Well, Michael Kadire with that 2-run double scored a couple runs for the Twins, and Johan Santana, he's retired the last 7 batters with 5 strikeouts, one walk for Johan in the ball game.
Here's Corey Hunter. First pitch fouled to the upper deck, 1 strike. Corey 0 for 2, a pop to second, the fly to left.
Marmol with 92 pitches in the ball game.
1-1.
He's walked 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Twins would like to get Corey Hunter back with a good batting stroke. A ground ball here to second, and he's retired 0 for 3. Corey's been slumping, and the RBIs just haven't come for him. Still stuck on 39, 1 away.
You can see that Marmol, okay, he starts off slow. I mean, this kid's got pretty good arm. We've seen a good fastball. He's maintained that fastball all the way through, and he's closing in on 100 pitches. The 3rd time out there, opponents have had a tough time hitting against him.
Kubel takes up high a little bit, ball 1.
Usually you see those numbers, pitcher will start out good, and then, you know, toward that 3rd or 4th at bat, that average will increase.
2-0.
I think that's the reason why, is because, you know, of course, that hitter's up there for the 3rd time. He has an idea how that pitcher's throwing. But this young man, he's got very good arm.
Kubel lifts it behind 3rd. Ramirez and Cedeno back, and it's the left fielder Merton who makes the catch. Now that's 7 in a row set down by Marmol. Twins have another great promotion coming up, and for more, here's a pair of Twins catchers.
Start July by bringing your Chrome to the Dome, presented by Yamaha. Bring your motorcycle to the Dome on July 1st when the Twins host the Brewers and get free parking.
Get tickets today by calling 800-33-TWINS.
2 down in the 6th, and here's Lou Ford.
Good job, guys.
One and 1. Kind of a sign of where the Cubs are right now. They've obviously been dealt a tough hand with injuries to their 2 premier pitchers, Wood and Pryor. But nevertheless, when you're going down to Double-A to call up pitchers, that tells you a little bit about where your farm system is at. You look at the Twins situation now, they have had to make some changes, but they've gone to their AAA affiliate to bring up pitchers, and the Cubs so desperate they've gone down to Double-A.
Yeah, Pryor will be pitching tomorrow, but on Sunday it's the same thing. Sean Marshall last year at Single-A and Double-A, so the Cubs having to call up some young kids, just try to get some innings in. The 4th walk of the ball game.
The AAA affiliate to the Iowa Oaks in Des Moines, and certainly they don't have prospects there with Murray Rothschild coming to the mound again. There's been no activity in the Chicago bullpen, so there won't be a pitching change here. The Cubs are going to start to get somebody warmed up, though.
Yeah, Angel Guzman was up a couple innings ago.
Ullman was up before. Looks like he's going to get up and start getting loose again. 2 left-handers in the Chicago pen. Scott Air is the other, the brother of Twins reliever Willie Air. And so the hope is that in this series, certainly, and perhaps in the same game, the Air brothers might be able to pitch.
Wouldn't that be something?
There's Willie on the Twins side.
Willie, the younger brother of Scott Air. And Scott Air, a left-hander, and Willie, a right-hander. Said that they have never, you know, this will be a first if they're able to just watch each other pitch at the major league level for a while. But you look at Scott right there on the left of your screen.
Here's Jason Bartlett. See if the Twins can take advantage of the 2-out walk by Marmol. Bartlett walked with 1 out in the 4th. Got as far as 3rd base. Strike on the outside corner.
Well, Twins have stolen a couple of bases. Nick Punto in the 3rd inning. And Jason Bartlett in the 4th, and Lou Ford with 8 stolen bases in 9 attempts at first. See if the Twins would like Lou to try to get to second base.
And the Cubs pitch out, 1-1.
Scotty Alger, the third base coach, going through signs. Third base coaches like their ears a lot. They always go to their ears, point at their ears.
One and two.
Hands are always dirty, always wiping their hands clean.
Scotty Alger back giving the signs in the third base coach's box this year. 1 and 2. Third base coaching jobs typically, or bench coaching jobs typically, prepare someone for a major league managerial job. It's kind of like the step below a major league manager. Bartlett dumps it behind first. It's going to be a tough play. It'll drop for a hit. Bartlett will dig for second. The throw to second not in time, and Bartlett has a Texas League double. Ford advancing to third with 2 away.
Well, as soon as you hit this ball, you saw that this was going to be trouble. Jock Jones playing a deep right field, and right here, right off the end of the bat, kind of lands in no man's land. Perez can't catch up to it. Jock Jones gets it back in, and Jason Bartlett now with a career-high 9-game hitting streak. So he continues to get 1 or more hits a ball game.
106 pitches for Marmol, and that apparently will be the end of the night for him, with Dusty Baker coming to the mound. And Oman will come in with 2 on and 2 out.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Holman comes in. Castillo now from the right side of the plate. Takes a fastball inside, ball 1.
Will Ullman, 28 years old. Good breaking ball, sinking fastball, slider, and a changeup. Ullman making his 36th relief appearance for the Cubs.
One and one.
Good hard breaking ball right there.
Dusty Baker looking at the numbers. Not so much those numbers with Castillo hitting well in this ballpark, but the left-right numbers. Switch hitter who typically has been a better right-handed hitter than left. This year it's been just the opposite. Castillo hitting just .240 from this side of the plate, .293 from the other side of the plate. Blanco digs it out. It's 2-1.
coming off the Tommy John surgery in 2002. He missed all of 2002 and the 3 season. Made 69 relief appearances for the Cubs last year. Very good 2.91 ERA out of that bullpen.
At the knees, 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Ford scores. Bartlett right behind him. Castillo drives in 2, and it's 7-1.
Boy, Ullman threw him some good breaking balls, and then he left one up, and Castillo took advantage of it. Driving in a couple runs with this RBI up the middle. And the location, boy, left right there, and Castillo, he does so well, slap that ball on the ground, finds that hole up the middle. He picks up RBI number 26 and 27 on the year. And those 2 runs charged to the starter, Marmol. So his numbers are done.
Here's Nick Punto. Down and in, ball 1. Punto with a single and a run scored. Hit a warning track fly ball to center. Pierre running catch about 400 feet away from home plate. 1-1.
Marmol, those numbers, 5 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs allowed, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Just his 3rd major league start.
Santana's lead continues to mount. 2-1. Santana had a start in the middle of May. Pitched 7 innings and came out of the ball game leading 8-1. Three and 1.
Yeah, that game against the Chicago White Sox and John Garland, where the Twins won that game 10-1.
Missing again on the inside corner. First and second, 2 away from Mauer. Joe for 2 with a walk. And a run scored. Mauer's overall average, 372. His average against right-handers, 372. His average against left-handers.
Let me guess. 372.
Got it. There's a strike on the outside corner. Men out there with the Twins out already having scored twice this inning. Oh, 2. Foul off the facing of the upper deck. You know, and it's more than just the batting average against lefties. He's made consistently good contact. 78 at bats, just 11 strikeouts, 8 walks. Doesn't have a home run yet against a lefty, but he's got 6 doubles. And has driven in 9 runs. Check his swing, 1-2.
A lot of clubs trying to pitch Joe Mauer more inside now because he does such a good job hitting that ball the other way, but he has such a good eye on the inner half of the plate where a lot of times hitters don't want to make a mistake in there. Pitchers do. And Joe looking for that ball, I'm sure, away and driving it that way.
Lifted to left, playable from Merton. The Twins strand 2, but they score 2, and it's a 7-1 ball game.
You are enjoying the Twins and the Cubs tonight, and we hope you'll stay with us after the game for Busch Lights FSN Live and the Toyota post-game wrap. We'll bring you extended coverage from this series opener, plus you'll hear Ron Gardenhire's post-game comments. We'll get your reaction from the Twins and look ahead to Mark Pryor's start tomorrow as well. It's the Toyota post-game wrap after the game tonight.
Johan Santana leading off the 7th inning. Thank you very much, Marty. Nevin with a solo home run in the 2nd. Then he hit a deep fly ball to the wall in center. Corey Hunter hauled it in the 4th. 1-0. It'll be Nevin, Merton, and Jones facing Santana here in the 7th. Cubs with just 2 hits against Santana. The Nevin home run, and then Merton with a single to center.
Well, you said in the 2nd inning after he gave up that run, no more runs for Santana.
Well, that's the way it's been.
Yep. All 4 outings prior to this in the month of June. 8 innings against Oakland, 1 run. Seattle, 1 run. Boston, 1 run. Pittsburgh, 1 run.
A fly to right, and Kadire in the right field corner makes the catch. So Nevin's homered to left, a deep fly to center, now a deep fly to right. Here's our Dodge game summary.
Well, Justin Morneau got the Twins on the board with a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. His 19th of the year. Kadire, a 2-run double in a 3-run 3rd inning for the Twins. And Morneau adding another RBI after the Kadire 2-run double. And Johan Santana has taken it from there. 6 1/3 innings for Santana. 76 pitches thrown. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
One strike to Merton, and now 2 strikes.
I think if you were watching Liriano last night, every seen that fastball more inside. He did a great job of that fastball in, the slider in. Santana more of a fastball away, great changeup. See Joe Mauer sitting outer half of the plate.
Bartlett cuts across. Guns to Morneau, and they kept his foot on the bat. Nice stretch by Morneau. At first, it's the 2nd time we've seen Merton fly down the line pretty quickly.
Well, a bang-bang play right there. Justin had to reach for it. But watch his foot right there. Even though he gets up, he keeps his foot on the bag.
2 down, and here's Jock Jones. Swing and a miss.
Jock originally signing by the Twins back in 1996 out of USC. Number 2 pick for the Twins that year. The Twins signing their number 1 pick yesterday.
Chris Parmalee. Yeah.
They'll be going down to Fort Myers, Florida.
Bouncer to second. And another 1, 2, 3 inning for Santana. Chance, if they'll let him, maybe to pick up a complete game. He's retired 10 in a row.
There you go. You're hereby circled. 22 other guys to help that Twins get back into the race, besides Lariano, Santana, and Joe Nathan.
Might be 3 all-stars there for the Twins. Throw Joe Mauer in there as well. Here's Michael Kadire leading off the Twins 7th. And he takes high, ball 1. Bouncer to short, and Kadire's retired. And Sherry Hartman has a special guest.
I do. I am here with Willie and Scott's mom, Peggy, who came all the way from Salt Lake City to get a chance to see her sons possibly play against each other for the first time. Peggy, are you nervous about the possibility of watching your sons play against each other?
Yeah, because it's been hard to know who to root for. They play good ball and they get good hits, and I don't know whether to cheer or or what to do. So it's going to be exciting. I hope they get to pitch against each other. It'll be kind of a dream.
Now you have a pretty unique jersey on. Where did you get that from?
Scott had it made, I think, a couple months ago. I just found out about it like a couple days ago or whatever. So, and it was hanging up downstairs in the Twins family room when I got here. So
it'll be a fun weekend for you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I got my grandkids here and both my daughter-in-laws, and so.
Well, why don't you stand up so everybody can see your shirt? Check out the back here. That's pretty cool. Check that out, guys.
That's very good.
Nice.
She's right down in front. Tell her to turn around and wave at us right here. We're very, very proud of Mom.
1 and 2 to Justin Morneau. And it's like a guy who's got the mismatched socks. He says, yeah, I got another pair at home just like him. The other half of the jersey, or the halves of the jersey, going to Scott and Willie's father, who could not be here tonight. 2 and 2 to Morneau. 3 runs batted in and a pair of early hits. 3 hits tonight for Morneau, and the average by his next plate appearance, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, is going to be over 280.
Well, he got 3 hits in last night's ball game, a single, a double, and a home run, same as he has here. Excuse me, a home run and a couple singles here tonight.
And how do you get priority for seating in the new Twins ballpark? We'll get the information you need. Call 800-33 Twins tonight, and a Twins representative is on hand right now to answer your question. Hunter will hit next, and he'll do it against a new Chicago pitcher. Dusty Baker making a pitching change. David Archman will pitch next. Average in general, and his average against lefties going up on a nightly basis.
Boy, just continuing have very good at-bats. David Archman coming out of the bullpen, very high, 6.89 ERA. Archman with a fastball, good sinking fastball, knuckle curve, slider, and a changeup in his first season with the Cubs.
Well, under 35,000 the paid attendance here tonight. That surprises me. I thought that we might have 40,000 here tonight, but maybe that'll come tomorrow. Archman facing Hunter. And now 1-1. Archman's claim to fame so far is he's the first guy listed in the baseball encyclopedia. He beat out the Aarons. One and two.
Archman, 24 years old, Giants' #1 pick out of Rice University. Coming over to the Cubs in the LaTroy Hawkins trade.
Foul to the net, still 1 and 2. Tigers keep rolling along. They scored double digits on the Cardinals, 10-5 tonight. And it looks like the White Sox are going to win too. They're leading Houston 6-0 in the fourth. Just off the inside corner to even the count. But
wasn't Billy Koch, or the relief pitcher, wasn't he from Rice University too? I'm almost sure he was.
I think you're thinking of Matt Anderson, the right-hander for the
Billy
Tigers.
Koch was from
3 and 2. Anderson, the guy who threw 100 miles an hour for a year or so with the Tigers, was from Rice.
Yeah, Billy Koch was from Clemson, same place as Matthew Leecrow.
Yeah, yep. Full count to Hunter. Twins up by 6 runs. Don't know if they're going to send Morneau here. They won't. Swing and a miss. Oh, that's strike 3. Hunter's gone, but Morneau can advance to second. But he's thrown out. He didn't run hard, and he was thrown out by Blanco. So Morneau thrown out at second in a weird strike him out, throw him out.
Vida, pure water, perfect taste. And by Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
Twins in front, and so the Diet Pepsi fans of the game should enjoy the proceedings so far.
They sure should, with a big smile.
Got their Joe Mauer, vote Joe Mauer buttons on. Here's Cedeno, the swing and a miss. 83 pitches for Santana so far on the night.
He's retired the last 10 Cubs to come to the plate. Take a look at the last pitch. Torrey Hunter swinging through, getting underneath the glove of Blanco. And Henry going back and then throwing out Morneau at second base.
Bartlett dives to his left and makes a nice play.
And Johan will acknowledge his shortstop right there. Take a second and point at Bartlett. It's like, thank you very much. Bartlett going to his left, keeping his eye on the ball, making a nice grab for the first out. Santana through innings 4, 5, and 6. Excuse me, 5, 6, and 7 needed only 26 pitches. That's why that pitch count's still good.
Strike one to Todd Walker. The Twins have won one complete game, and it was an 8-inning loss on the road.
Yeah, that was Santana in Detroit. They lost that game 2-0. Justin Verlander's shutout against the Twins.
1-2 to Walker. Santana with 5 strikeouts, none since the 5th inning. And Walker finds a hole on the left side.
Well, Johan Santana looking for his 8th win, getting that ERA down from 2.87. Take a look at some of the highlights so far, and usually Santana's highlights are this right here: strikeouts. Johan with 5 strikeouts in tonight's ball game. He's made 3 very good defensive plays, fielding his position. Johan trying to get through the 8th inning here.
There's Blanco outside. Blanco will be forever linked to Santana because Henry was, as it turned out, his primary catcher. The first year Santana was exclusively a starting pitcher, and the year that Santana won the Cy Young Award. So to the extent you credit a catcher for a pitcher winning the Cy Young Award, you got to give Blanco a lot of credit.
Yeah, again, Henry Blanco, we told you earlier, a .219 career hitter. He's at the major league level for a reason, because he handles pitchers so well.
Skied to the left side, and Santana will give way finally to the third baseman, Punto, 2 away.
Well, you want to make sure that your infielders see that ball. Now, you watch that play, Santana kept his eye on the ball, pointed up, and he said, I got it for a second, until Nick Punto came in and called him off. Look at Johan. There it is right there. Okay, nobody's calling me off. And then Nick Punto at the last second says, I've got it.
Much like a left fielder would back away when the center fielder calls for it. Great athletes as they are, they have to defer to everybody else in the infield. That's a base hit to right for Pierre. And Walker will hold up at second base. Well, the Cubs trying to get something started here in the 8th inning. A pair of singles, just hits 3 and 4 on the night against Santana.
Yeah, Pierre jumping on that first fastball, hitting it through the infield between Morneau and Castillo into right field. And Todd Walker stopping at second base.
Here's Perez. A couple of outfield flies and a strikeout. Chopped foul. One other American League Central score of note: Cincinnati beat Cleveland 3-0, and the Indians seem in disarray and in complete free fall right now. Indians now 32-40, and they will be 16 games out in your morning paper tomorrow. In fact, they're 16 games out on your screen right now. It's fouled down the right side and back into the seats. And the manager's job is secure there, but Mark Shapiro, the general manager, has been extremely frustrated and has promised some wholesale changes here imminently. They're not happy at all with how the Indians have played. All right, see if Santana can finish off Perez and the Cubs here in the 8th inning with 2 outs and 2 strikes. You got Perez in the 3rd in this situation. Between Chris Spire and the line.
You know, the Cleveland Indian Ball Club, Dick, they lost about half of their pitching staff, you know, and that really hurt that organization. CC Sabathia pitching good for a while, but now he's been struggling. Usually comes down to good pitching, and that's why the Twins are back where they're at, 1 game over 500. The pitching has been outstanding.
Nice block by Mauer, 1-2. The Indians losing so much out of a very good bullpen last year.
Yeah, lost David Risky, Arthur Rhodes, Bobby Howry, who's now here with the Cubs.
Kevin Millwood, a key loss for them, too, out of the rotation.
Scott Ellerton, another one.
Indians this year investing most of their payroll in the lineup. And the lineup for a while was very productive, but now even that's wilted under the pressure. 1-2 from Santana to Perez. Perez, if he's doing nothing else, is mounting Santana's pitch count.
Yeah, 98 pitches for Johan, and Johan can't get him to swing through that changeup. Perez has fouled some off.
For a while, it looked like Liriano might pitch a complete game last night. He had to leave the ball game after 8. Maybe that's what will happen here with Santana. Let's see if we can get through the 8th here on this pitch. Off the knuckles, Santana won't have a play, and now the throw by Bartlett over Morneau, and that'll allow a run to score. So Perez eventually gets his hit. The overthrow will allow the Cubs to score their 2nd run.
Well, Jason Bartlett came in here, and this ball like hitting no man's land. Santana chased after it. Bartlett comes in. I don't think he had a real good grip on this one hop. Tried to flip it over to Morneau. Watch Bartlett come in barehanded and then just airmails Morneau. The ball getting over his head. That allows Walker to score.
No run batted in. A hit and an error on the play, and Jesse Craig starts to warm up.
That error, the first for Jason Bartlett since being recalled from Rochester.
Santana, who has seen his ERA go down every start for 5 straight starts, now is in a bit of an odd predicament. The run that was scored is an unearned run, but if Ramirez were to produce a hit here, that would be changed.
Right. So very important to get this guy out. 0 for 3 already. Ramirez with a strikeout, a ground ball back to Johan. Then he hit that little soft liner into right field that Castillo made a very nice catch to end the 6th inning.
So Rick Anderson may be passing along the words, look, bear down, get this guy, and we'll get somebody else for the 9th inning. This will be the 100th pitch of the night for Santana. Strike 1.
And a good changeup. Very good ratio right there. 72 strikes in 100 pitches thrown.
And almost the same ratio that we saw last night from the young Francisco Liriano. Strike two.
Another changeup.
Fans on their feet.
Two changeups, now a fastball in.
Got it. In the 8th inning, Santana gives up an unearned run and leaves the mound with a little fire in his eyes. One earned run, one unearned run, and it looks like Santana's night is done.
Yeah, 102 pitches for Johan, one walk, 6 strikeouts in the ball game, and that 6th strikeout, the biggest in that ball game, getting Ramirez for the 2nd time.
So he'll check in with 115 strikeouts on top of the leaderboard in Major League Baseball. 1 strike to Jason Kubel. Snapped his bat. And Cedeno throws him out, 1 away. Come out to the Dome tomorrow night and get your picture with a couple of Twins players. The Our Family brand presents photo nights every Saturday from 4:45 to 5:15. And for a ticket to the Twins Cubs game tomorrow, call 800-33-TWINS. Mentioned the Twins and Cubs faced each other the first 5 years of interleague play, and not since 2001. So if this means that next year we go to Wrigley Field, I think that'll be fine with both of us.
That'll be great. I love that place.
Ford loops it to right. Jones comes in. Out number 2.
I love that place because of so much history there. Not only the fans, the way that they support their Cubs, but just it's another ballpark like Yankee Stadium or Fenway Park. Some of the greatest that ever played the game played on that field.
And one of the greatest who ever broadcast the games, Harry Carey, was there the first time we were there, still broadcasting games. And one of the great joys of my many years doing this was sitting in the booth next to him for 3 games in a row with Harry standing up and singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and to see everybody in the stadium locked in on the legendary Harry Carey. It was quite a thrill. 1-1 to Bartlett. And of course, the thought was, the hope was, that with the Red Sox 2 years ago ending their curse, and the White Sox last year ending their streak of non-championships, that this would be the Cubs' year. And of course, it's another one of those wait till next year seasons for Chicago on the north side. 1-2 to Bartlett. And next year, who knows whether Dusty Baker will be back. Two and two.
It's not that the Cubs have not been to the World Series since their last win in 1908. It's just they just have lost every time.
Well, they've been there since what, 1945?
1945. They went in 1910, 1918, 1929, 1932, 1935, 1938, and the last appearance 1945, and they lost all those. That's tough to take. Sounds like Atlanta.
2-2 to Bartlett. Well, just think though. I mean, here you were born in what, 1950?
1951.
1951. In your lifetime, the Cubs have never even been to the World Series. Two and two. The Twins getting there in 65, losing to the Dodgers, winning it in 87 and 91. 3-2. And the architect of the two World Championship teams is, and has been for quite some time now, running the show for the Cubs. Two Blues down, Andy McPhail here this weekend.
He's in the house.
And Bartlett coaxes a 2-out walk. Well, to bring up Castillo.
And the Twins getting their 6th walk of the ballgame.
There's Andy, and he's been doing a lot of that. Cubs had quite a bit of excitement on the north side of Chicago when Sammy Sosa was hitting 60 home runs and more every year. Castillo with a ground ball. Cedeno to Perez. The inning ends. We go to the 9th inning. Looks like Jesse Crane's going to get a chance to finish off game 1 of this series. Jeep game reset and a good start to this homestand for the Twins.
Well, Johan looking for his 8th win. 8 very good innings. 2 runs allowed, only 1 earned run with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. Morneau, another good night at the plate. His 2nd straight 3-hit game here tonight. His 19th home run, a 2-run home run. And the Twins scoring runs for Johan. 5 runs in the first 3 innings. That helps.
And here's Jesse Crane coming into the ball game. He'll pitch to the middle of the Chicago lineup. Nevin, Merton, and Jones.
Jesse coming in for the 31st time out of the bullpen.
We talked about Santana looking for his 8th win. He needs to win tonight to reclaim the leadership in wins on the team, because Francisco Liriano has now tied him which is remarkable given the fact that Liriano was sitting in the bullpen up until less than a month ago.
7-1, and he's made his 7th start yesterday. Had 1 win out of the bullpen, 6-1 as a starter.
1-1 to Nevin.
And that's exactly what you want on your ball club, that little competitiveness, to who's going to do better.
Now they're lined up back to back in the Twins rotation now, and chances are that will change because the next time they come through the rotation, they'll be pitching or would be pitching against the Dodgers, and Ron Gardenhire's talked about splitting them up just for that series to not have ground ball toward the hole, backhanded by Bartlett. Nevin's thrown out, and to not have 2 left-handers back to back who both throw fastball, slider, changeup.
Yeah, you'd like to separate those two, but
maybe with Booth Bonser, or maybe the Twins would make a change. Scott Baker's been pitching well, and we'll see how that plays out later in the homestand. Here's Merton. Breaking ball misses. Merton with a single in 3 trips, couple of ground balls to short. That's down the right field line, and it's going to twist foul. Boy, the Cub fans are hopeful, aren't they? I mean, you can hear them. They've pretty much been taken out of this game, by the middle innings when Santana was on the mound with a 4-run lead. And here they are, 1 out in the 9th. And Matt Merton, whom many of them don't know much about, hits one into the right field corner, and there's an audible gasp when it just hooks foul.
Well, again, you know what? I think when you're a Cub fan, you're always a Cub fan. I don't think you're a front runner when you're a Cub fan.
No. Bartlett makes the catch, 2 away. And our Quest player of the game tonight, again, the Twins starting pitcher.
Well, Johan Santana, 8 very good innings, looking for his 8th win of the year. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for Johan, and that ERA will come down. Came into the game with a 2.87 ERA. The same amount of days until my birthday. Had to throw that in there again.
I think his ERA went down more than your countdown to your birthday. Jones shoots a base hit to left field. So Jock gets his first hit. And that'll bring up Cedeno. Crane looks over at Jones. So you couldn't let me have a 1-2-3 inning, huh? Here's Cedeno. Robbed of a hit his last time up by Bartlett. Made a diving catch to his left. This should do it. And the Twins are 2 games above the 500 mark. Justin Morneau with 3 early runs batted in. Another home run. He continues his torrid hitting. And the Twins continue their winning ways.
Well, the Twins beating the Cubs here this evening. And Johan Santana does pick up his 8th win of the year. A couple big hits tonight for Morneau. Michael Kadire, Luis Castillo, all with a couple RBIs in key situations.
Final score 7-2 Twins. We're not done yet. We'll have continued coverage. So let's go to Marty Gellner and FSN Live.
All right, Dick and Bert, thank you very much. The Twins kick off this series against the Cubs